Hello everyone. In this session we are going to discuss the concept of arrays. So here, first of all, the basic definition: an array is a collection of values of same data type. So first of all, let's understand why do we need an array. If I want to store some information, let's say I want to store 5 numbers and I create 5 different variables, then I will have to remember or use the names of 5 different variables. With 5, it doesn't seem to be still so difficult. But what if I want to store 500 numbers? Then creating 500 different variables and managing them would become a difficult task. So if they are logically related and they also have same data type, then we may group them together and then this group will be considered as an array. So here the purpose of an array is to create a collection of homogeneous elements. So homogeneous means if I create an array of integers, all the elements would be integers, no float, no double. Similarly, if I create an array of employees, then I will have all employees. We cannot have characters or integers in them. Now an array is considered as a reference variable. So reference means it will be stored on the heap rather than the stack. And here we can see the basic diagram. So here you can say days. So days is having a collection of say 7 elements, and here the value at index, this is the starting index. So starting index has the value 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the last element will be stored at index 6. An array needs to be declared before it can be used in a program. So you can declare an array by writing data type, then you need to provide a pair of square bracket. This is a part of syntax to indicate that we are going to create an array, and then you need to provide the name of the array. For example, int square bracket score. So here the data type is used to specify what kind of elements we are going to store in this array. Now what in this statement, what is actually getting created is a reference of the array is getting created. This reference, a reference you may understand is like a pointer which is going to hold the address. This pointer will be actually created on the stack. So here the square bracket we are going to use for providing the dimension or the rank. So rank, in this case, if I use only a square bracket, that means we are going to create a one-dimensional array. Array name is to specify the name of the array by using which the elements of the array would be initialized and manipulated. You can initialize the array variables and can assign values to the array elements. You can initialize the array by using the new keyword. So whenever we are using the new keyword, the real value, the real memory block will get created on the heap. That is why we call this as a reference type. So the pointer or the reference is on the stack. The actual memory block which holds the data will be stored on the heap. Then we specify the size of the block that is being created. So this is the example, int square bracket score. So score would be a reference variable that will get stored on the stack, and then we are, or you can just understand like this is a pointer, is equal to new int 10. So here a block of 10 integers will be created. This block is getting created on the heap and its starting address will get stored in this variable score. You can assign values to each of the elements. So individually you can access by writing score, and in the square bracket we are writing 0. 0 means element that is at the index 0. 10. So this 10 will get stored in the very first memory block. Then you may also create an array by assigning the values directly like this. So internally the memory block will be created and these values would be assigned. But this is where you are not specifying the size. So here you can create the array by writing int source new int 10. We are providing the size as 10 and these are the elements we are providing. So these many elements will get initialized and the remaining block will be having 0. And then you may copy the array into another by writing target equal to source. So in this case both target and source will be pointing to the same memory block. So here you may see that this is the memory block. Source and target both are pointing to the same memory location. So we have initialized these blocks. These blocks will be containing 0. So here we have another example. We are taking an array of character. Some integer variables are there. So enter the palindrome string. So we are accepting the data from the user. So since we have an array of 10, we are executing the for loop. Index starts from 0. So for loop is being taken from 0 and we have to continue up to 9. 0 to 9 will make it 10 times. Then we are checking. So what is a palindrome? Where the first and the last means it is same from both the ends. That is a palindrome. So here you can see the first I value is 0. So this is the first character and the last character is ch minus 9 minus I value is 0. That means the last character. If they are both same, we are saying flag equal to 1. If they do not match, flag equals to 0. Break. If at all one pair does not match, then it is not a palindrome. So break. Break will exit from the for loop. So we are going to come out of the for loop. So after execution of the for loop, we are checking the value of the flag. If it is 1, we are saying the string is a palindrome. Otherwise, we are saying that string is not a palindrome. Now, in order to iterate the elements of the array, we can use a for each loop. Now, this is a very beautiful construct provided to us by C#. See, when we are storing the data in an array, sometimes we do not know how many elements are there. What is the starting index? So, if I don't want to go through all these complications, I may simply tell the C# compiler, you visit the elements and give me them one by one. That is where we can use the for each loop. So for each basically hides the internal complexity from the user and provides us the elements one by one. So here we can see that suppose we have an array of numbers. So here we may write for each integer k in numbers. So what will internally C# do? It will visit numbers and k will have the numbers 4, 3, 2 like this one by one. So we are displaying the elements one by one. This is another example where we are getting the largest element from the array. So let's take the variable max. We are assuming that the first element of the array is maximum. Then we are executing the while loop and every time we are checking which one is the maximum element in the array. So this is how we can get the elements from the array. Maximum element, minimum element, sum of the elements we can calculate. Now let's have a look at this program. Here we have taken an array allnum and which is of type integer with size 4. So we have arbitrarily taken some numbers here, or let me just change the numbers. Let's take something like this. Now we are considering the variables max, min and sum. So max we have initialized to the first element, min is also getting initialized to the first element and sum we are assuming as 0. So now we are going for a for loop because already we have considered the sum also. I should take all now 0. That means the first element's value we have already stored here. Now since already we have considered index 0, we are going to start with index 1. So now sum is equal to sum plus all num I. I here means 1. So that means we are adding sum, that is the first value with the second value. When next time I becomes 2, it will be adding the third data to the sum. So this way the loop will continue. If you observe the max part, now max means the greatest element. So if I have the second element greater than max, that means the second element should become max. Similarly for minimum, if the second element is smaller than, it should be min, then min should be the smaller one. So after completion of the for loop, we will have the values of sum, max and min. Now here observe there is a length property associated. Length will give us the total number of elements in the array and the rank property will give us the dimension of an array. So let me execute this code. Here you will observe sum, maximum is 499, minimum is 3. Total number of elements would be 4 and the dimension of the array would be 1. So here we have seen the concept of one-dimensional array. Let's stop here for today. Thank you.